All right, yo, we are live right now, guys. Good to see you. This is the weekly batch call. I got my man right here, Nathan Valley. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's happening?
So, guys, today you need to stay tuned because we're going to be going over how to find real estate investors for wholesaling. All right. And when I say how to find real estate investors, that's what I mean. I mean cash buyers, right? How to find investors to wholesale deals to. And you're going to know exactly by the end of this video how to do that. All right. So stay tuned. And, definitely you're going to learn what resources you need to start wholesaling, where to find these dang cash buyers, how you can use Batch to find these cash buyers. So, Nate, let's dive right in. So let's talk about the resources people need to wholesale, all right? And when it comes to wholesaling, it's not that difficult. You really just need a phone, you need a list, you need some people to call, and you need to be able to ask them if they're selling, right? Nothing crazy. If you guys haven't seen, I always like showing the mind map because this is something I give out absolutely free. It shows the process on how to wholesale. Now, I teach what's called the painless wholesaling method of reverse engineering wholesaling. Instead of just going to pull a random list and you don't know who your buyers are, I tell you to get buyers first. And that's why today we're going to be talking about how to get real estate investors that you can wholesale to or cash buyers. Now, when you come here on the mind map, guys, the first step I tell people to do is, get your mind right. If you can't handle rejection, if you're not, don't have, I guess, a why on why to do this, it's going to be really easy to quit. That's why you got to get the right mindset because the people that are exiting have the wrong mindset. I believe right now, opportunities to structure deals with people, the opportunities are going to be really good and are good. So after you get your mind right, you pick one market. Now, me and you both have done the nationwide model. It's pretty difficult unless you have some sort of edge up on the competition where you have an SEO website or you have discounted pay-per-click leads or something. Nationwide all over the place, difficult. I'm just shooting you straight, everybody. But what we do teach is one market. Pick one market and master it. And that's especially for now. If the market picks up and is super hot again, then finding a deal anywhere and selling it will be very easy. But it's not like that. So pick one area, master it. After you pick your market, you find the cash buyers. You find who's still buying. Find the people that have the right mindset that they're saying, yeah, I'm picking up properties. I know it's going to go back up. Those are the people you want to connect with. And then you ask them their buy box criteria. Now, everything I've shown you here is just high level overview. But if you go inside the mind map, it will actually in detail show you how to talk to cash buyers, where to get the information, the scripts to talk to them. This is a script on what to ask cash buyers. Everything is in the mind map that will show you the process of how to wholesale. But today, and specifically for this call, we're going to dive right into how to find those cash buyers. Okay. So first thing is before looking for deals, you want to find out what cash buyers in your market are buying. It'd be stupid to go to Alaska and look for single family homes if everyone there wants multi-units, right? If people are like, I don't really invest in single family, you want to know what people are buying, right? So first you got to call some people. I don't advocate right now for blasting out your deals to 1,000, 10,000 buyers because they're not going to open your email. They're not going to look at your text. They don't know who you are. And right now they're not that motivated, in my opinion, to buy a deal. The majority of them, you got to find the people that are. So right here on the mind map, what we're going to do is we're going to go in and look at the ways to find buyers, right? So you got flippers. There's different types of buyers. You got landlord cash buyers, realtors, wholesalers, hedge funds, and different ways to market to them. Here's some information on how to market to them once you do get them. We'll focus on flippers. This is why I love batch leads. Because what you can do is among all the different strategies, you can go right to batch leads and you can go pick a specific area and let's check it out. So right now, just for example, let's do Salt Lake City, Utah, right? Because that's where I am. Give it a shot. All you do is go to the boundary, go here. And if you go to quick filter right here at the very bottom, cash buyers, 18,302 cash buyers that batch is telling me about in this area that I can call and skip trace, or I can call the agents that represented them if they flipped. And if you look at these, most of the properties that are here have been flipped. So what batch is filter is saying on these is, hey, these are flippers that have bought a house and then they sold it with a real estate agent within the last year. And you can even go in here and batch will tell you, their criteria of how they did it if you click on this question mark, right? So if I wanted to, and I had a property in this area, right next door, that was a piece of trash, and I wanted to find a buyer, I could go right here to this deal and I could find out who purchased the property. Now, if you skip trace an LLC, sometimes it doesn't return the right info. So you can just straight up Google this guy. You can try and find out who owned it. So open corporates, go here. You might have to do a little bit of research, but you can find out that William R. Wong owns this bad boy. And maybe you could skip trace him. Maybe you could just search his name. A lot of cool ways to do it. So anyway, guys, that is how you use batch leads. Now let's kind of go right into the deal we have, Nathan, and chat about how we use batch and how, what we're doing right now to try and move it.
Yeah, so this property is in Tucson. It is I believe it's a 1 acre lot, and it has a mobile home on it, but the mobile home is in like total disrepair. The guy did have tenants in it, but I believe the tenants had passed away, and the mobile home needs a bunch of work, and he wants to sell it and get rid of it. So the mobile home's in a position to where it really can't be fixed up. The best use for the property would be to remove the mobile home, and then a builder could build on this lot. So we're really looking at it for land value. So, we had to start with, okay, we're looking for someone that buys land in this area, a lot like this, and could potentially build on it.
You got to find the right type of buyer too, right? Which you can also find in batch leads. And that's kind of like what we were doing, right? I started calling agents on batch. I know you started calling some people, and that we're really trying to find the right fit.
So for this property, what we did was we looked at, there was a couple sales in that area for lots similar to ours, and we reached out. 2 of them were agents. They were interested and had some buyers come out. And then in this area, they also had a company called New Western, which is like a big disposition company, similar to something like Keegley, if anyone's familiar with that. And guys, when you're dispoing deals, some of these companies, it's because they have relationships, right? So New Western, I just got off the phone with him, maybe an hour ago. He's like, hey, I got a guy that's really interested. And the reason being is because that's his market, that's his niche. Like, he knows everyone in that area, and he has the relationship with the guy that's the perfect fit for this property.
Right.
It's not a million people he's reaching out to. He's like, oh, I have just the right guy. And hopefully, it's sounding really good. Like, we should be able to close that one before Christmas.
Dude, and this is the crazy thing. Like, that's why I teach people to reverse wholesale, because if you don't have this is Tucson. I've never done a deal in Tucson. I don't know anyone there. So I have to kind of start from square one right now. If you leverage people to have those relationships, dude, I'd rather not spend a whole week trying to call these buyers. I'd rather leverage relationships. So hit up other wholesalers, hit up New Western. We did a quick batch lead search, and that's actually how we got a couple people to go there. But the thing is, if you can't get somebody that's interested with the time that I have available, I don't have time to just call nonstop. So just make some quick calls to some cash buyers. You don't have this problem if you're in your own market, but if you get deals nationwide, kind of like we do, we get opportunities from all over. Make some quick calls to agents, make some quick calls to buyers. And if you can't find some, leverage someone else that has the relationships in the area.
Yeah, 100%. And I can't stress enough how much easier your life will be when you start with the end in mind. When you start with that relationship with the buyers, because then it opens up your marketing. When you're talking to that seller, you can confidently say, hey, we can buy this property, we can do this price, because you already know that from the buyer. Also, you don't necessarily have to set up these weird kind of awkward walkthroughs and whatnot, because typically you're able to have a conversation with your buyer before you even get it under contract. You can be like, hey, look, we're right around here on price, does that work for you? And they can just say yes or no, because you have that close relationship with them. And it takes kind of all those parts that can be really kind of awkward and uncomfortable, takes it completely out of the picture. And from a lead generation standpoint, it allows you to open up to other channels. Other than just kind of reaching out and cold calling, texting to sellers, you can now leverage other relationships. Like, agents can bring you deals. You can network with real estate agents or probate attorneys. And the really important thing with that is, the reason you can do that is because you have the cash buyers, and you can actually close when they give you a deal. You can actually perform on the contract. Because if you start making those relationships and they bring you something, can't perform on it, it's not going to look good, and you're probably not going to have that relationship.
Yeah, they're cutting you out, bro. If you can't perform, they're going to be like, this guy's a jabroni. Yeah, no, I love what you're saying, because I preach it. That's exactly why people have the success. They have the relationships, and they start with the end in mind. And it is interesting how when they teach wholesaling, they don't start that way. I have no idea why. Why they just say, hey, just go try to find. Well, I actually know why. Because a lot of people say, if you find a good deal, you'll be able to find a buyer. Which I would say over the last 2 years, if you're in a good market that's hot, yeah, okay, that was probably true to an extent. But that has not always been the way over the last 10, 15 years of wholesaling. It's just that recently became a thing where you just blast stuff out and people would want it. You got to go back, treat buyers with respect and love, and they'll return the favor.
You know, if you find a deal good enough, you know, the money will come find you, so that you don't waste all that time and energy and, you know, everything that you do with the seller, you know, with the negotiating. It's, yeah, so important to have that set up first.
That's why, again, batch leads, we do this called batch leads, and I believe in batch leads because they literally give you the platform, the ability to reach out to buyers. Love it, Nate. You crushed it, man. That was your first call. I love it. Great job, man. First batch call. Everybody in the comment section, if you're watching this later on YouTube, give Nathan Valley a shout out, man. He's natural on here. Appreciate it. All right, man.
Yeah, man. Had a blast.
We're heading out. Peace out, everybody.